Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. I am heading off to clinic this morning, ready to start week number 12. So this is the kind of 3-month mark where we have to do our benchmark for the 3-month point at the end of this week. So that's the one assignment that we have. But I'm excited to kind of start this week because it will be an interesting week in regard to the fact that all of our rehab patients that we've had for the past couple weeks will have been discharged, because the last one of the bunch should be discharging on Wednesday. So that will be exciting to get to see them go, even though it will be disappointing that I don't get to work with them again. But having a fresh caseload will be very nice and will challenge me in the last kind of month of the experience. So it will be a nice change of pace, and I'm excited to see how my patients are doing this morning. A bit of a slow morning this morning, so I'm on a bit of a rush this morning getting off to clinic, just because I'm behind by a little bit. But to talk about yesterday, it went pretty well overall. I think some of the important things from yesterday was I was just talking with my clinical instructor of, in the past couple of weeks, I've really been focused on goals and been goal-centric because of the fact I've been trying to think of specific interventions that are fun to achieve each of our goals. So that has been a big focus of mine, and we are really trying to reshift my focus back to not only achieving goals, but also doing what's therapeutic at that moment for the kid and keeping their engagement as high as possible, even if it's at the expense of not directly working towards a goal every single time we're in a session, and kind of finding that happy medium of keeping them happy with what we're doing in the session and achieving goals. So it's definitely been a good change. And I think yesterday, because with one of our rehab patients, I haven't really been able to engage them super well, just because I think they're getting close to discharge. They don't see why they need to do all of these things, and with how young they are, it's hard to kind of give them the full reason and have them actually want to understand all the time. So that has been a challenge in itself, but I'm hopeful that I can continue to have that positive impact with them today and hopefully have a little bit more fun. Good morning. So heading off to clinic now. We had a great day yesterday. I'm excited for today because it is graduation day for my current rehab patients, so they get to go home, which is super exciting since they have been around for a while and have made such great progress. I do think that yesterday was a day of learning where we were definitely running low on motivation to participate in the sessions, and I was trying to navigate those on my own, and I received some feedback from some of the other therapists who I've been working with, and I really appreciated it because I saw some of the things in their comments that I wasn't quite intending for as I was navigating different ways to adjust the treatments. So definitely some good feedback, and I'm hoping that I'm going to have some chances to implement it before I am done with the experience. Good morning, everyone. So we've made it to about midweek and just have our last day of the week today. Yesterday was pretty awesome in the fact that we got to say goodbye to one of my long-standing rehab patients and get to see them leave while walking, which I think was one of the biggest things for them, mainly because when I had first met this family in the PICU, I was talking with the mother, and their biggest concern was the fact that they had heard that there might be potential that they might not be able to walk again and all of these things because they had suffered a stroke. And of course, there's always the difficulty of not knowing exactly what's going to happen, but knowing that that was where we started and them being able to walk out that door and having the mother be so happy, seeing her really go to tears, seeing their child leave while walking out the door when we were doing our tunnel was just so wonderful, getting to see them moving on to bigger and better things again. So that was a very happy moment. And then on top of that, I also had the opportunity to work with my other male colleague again, which was great, getting to do a co-treatment with them. And I think it went really, really well because we were both able to achieve some of our goals that we had planned and really push our patient hard, and they were also willing to go with us in that fact. So it was just a great day overall, and I am excited for today because there should be a lot going on since my last rehab patient has finally left, which means that we have absolutely no one at all. So it's going to be a bag of completely new things today, potentially a chance to kind of see what pediatric acute care kind of looks like, because there might be a lot more of the faster type visits that I'll get to see today. So I'll make sure to update you guys on how it goes today. And here we are at 75% done with my final clinical experience. That means that we have about 4 weeks left in the experience as a whole. So 1 more month to really get as much experience as we possibly can. But really to just chat about everything that went on yesterday, it was definitely a very, very long day in the fact that there was so much going on. We were going back and forth between so many different patients because we didn't have, a rehab patient at all to kind of have that very scheduled out day. So we were just going back and forth between people where we were looking at the top of the list to see if anyone needed help and needed picking up and everything. And I ran into a lot of newer challenges that I haven't faced so far because of the more acute nature of everything going on, where I worked for about 2 hours with a kid who was in a lot of pain following a posterior spinal fusion and trying to get them to get up and move safely, to get their ambulation in, and to work on a little bit of stairs so that they could end up going home. So that was a very hard thing to work through, kind of trying to manage that pain, get that buy-in with them to really finish off those things, to knock off the things on the checklist just to get them discharged. So it was a unique scenario, and another unique scenario that I was running into was the fact that I ran into my first patient who was blind and kind of trying to figure out how to explain things to them, and there were some behavior things involved as well, so it definitely made it a bit more unique, even though the condition itself that we were kind of just doing a crutch trainer, or in their case just mobility training prior to going home with their caregiver, just to make sure that they were good to go, was something different to navigate that I haven't had to do in a while, and in a completely new setting with a different population. So it was a great experience overall. Even though it was a very long day, I was bled on, I was sneezed on, all of those things, it was still a quality day overall, and lots of learning occurred. I had a chat with my clinical instructor about the kind of benchmarks and how it's too bad that so far I haven't had the opportunity to run into some different populations, such as selective dorsal rhizotomy procedures or a lot of spinal cord injuries so far in the experience. So we're hoping that in the last month, of course, we don't want anyone to get injured, but if I were to have the opportunity for my learning, that would be great to supplement it as a whole. But that brings us to the end of this week. We have 4 weeks left in this clinical experience, so I'm excited for what that has to hold. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below, as well as check the link in my description for 20% off a Picmonic subscription, and feel free to use their 5-day free trial to see if it's right for you. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.